All of these vehicles can be fantastic towing machines within their rated capacities. A common misconception is that you need a full-size truck to do any towing. But most SUVs are more than capable of towing light to medium-duty loads for those of us who don't need a 10,000-pound plus towing capacity. But before you can even consider a tow vehicle, it's important to figure out how much your trailer is going to weigh. Always go with the maximum weight you think you'll need just in case. So now that you know how heavy your trailer is, you're probably thinking you just find a towing capacity within that weight and you're good to go. Wrong. Towing capacity is important, and we'll get to that in a minute, but the first capacity you're likely to run out of is payload. You see, payload is the maximum amount of capacity that your car is capable of handling. This includes people, luggage, car seats, spare pens, and that French fry that slipped between the seats last week. But why does this matter with towing? Well, it matters because tongue weight is actually included in your payload capacity, which is why you're likely to run out of payload long before you run out of towing capacity. Tongue weight should ideally be between 10 and 15% of your total trailer weight. So if you have a 3,000-pound trailer, you need to account for up to 450 pounds of payload. And that gets deducted from this number right here. It's also where you'll find tire pressures. And sometimes they list different tire pressures for when you're towing. So it's important to check this out before setting off. So you've calculated the maximum amount of payload you're going to need. Now it's time to look at towing capacities. And there really is no shortage of options when it comes to looking for a tow vehicle. You've got the Chevy Blazer, which can tow up to 4,500 pounds. The Chevrolet Traverse ups that figure to 5,000 pounds. And the Chevrolet Colorado can tow a whopping 7,700 pounds. And those of us with little and sticky humans can opt for the Tahoe or Suburban, both of which are capable of towing over 8,000 pounds. And they also have the payload and space to handle all of Grandma and Grandpa's holiday gifts. And then we have the full and heavy-duty trucks for the really serious haulers. The Silverado can tow over 13,000 pounds, and the HD can tow up to 36,000 pounds when properly equipped. Just keep in mind that trim level plays an important role in payload and towing capacity on trucks. The higher the trim level, the more options it has, and thus the more weight. And the more weight you have in options, the less you have available for payload and towing. Which is why some SUVs can actually have more payload than a full-size truck, depending on their trim level. So, focus on payload first, and then move on to towing capacity. And once you've figured out which vehicle is right for you, head on down to Friendly Chevrolet in Fridley to pick out your next workhorse.